Good afternoon, everyone. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about a book, In the Line of Fire by Pervez Musharraf. I read this book a couple of years back and thought I should share some insights with my listeners as well. Narcissism and self-centeredness is what the book portrays throughout the narrative. Pervez Musharraf boasts about him so much in the book that at times I felt how someone can be that perfect. He starts the book with 2 suicide bombing attempts on him, which he survived, luckily. He took over the country, that is Pakistan, in a military coup, but defines it as a counter coup because, as per him, the presidents and present government at that point in time were already running the country as coups and not democracy. The leaders were autocrats and not democratic. He also categorized Zulfikar Bhutto as a chief martial law administrator during his tenure. On the contrary, Zulfikar Bhutto was the most famous leader of his time, who was loved, cherished and looked upon by the people of Pakistan. Pakistan have had a history of prolonged military coups, but whatever democracy came was being run by Nawaz, Sharif or Benazir Bhutto. In consecutive years, either of them held offices. When Nawaz took over the government for the second time, he created dissension in the army, sacking the then Chief of Army Staff and replaced him with Pervez Musharraf. Despite that, Musharraf has demoralized Nawaz's government on many occasions and called it corrupt, indecisive and incompetent. Nawaz, seeing that Musharraf was going against the rift after the Kargil debacle, decided to sack him. However, the army this time couldn't take it and decided to take over the government. It wasn't a coup by Musharraf, rather by the army itself, as per the narrative in this book. Musharraf was the chief of army staff and also the chief of joint staffs, an additional position given to him by Nawaz, and yet he takes no responsibility for the coup. After taking over the government through legal framework order popularly known as the 17th Amendment, he legalized his coup and held 2 positions, that is Chief of Army Staff and President of Pakistan, till 2007. The attack on Twin Towers on 9/11 shook the world. Musharraf decided to be an ally on war on terror for America. Hence, the culture of suicide bombs came into being, which till date have killed thousands of Pakistanis. Although in Musharraf's reign, Pakistan saw a lot of economic development, but that was only possible due to the billions of dollars aids Pakistan was receiving being an ally. In this book, he takes credit for everything good that happened and denounced against bad, not even acknowledges it. He doesn't talk about Akbar Bukhari's mysterious death in 2006, siege of Lal Masjid, sacking of Chief Justice of Pakistan Chaudhry Iftikhar, disclosure of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan's labs, or the assassination of Benazir Bhutto. Though the book was published in 2006, but most of these incidents happened before the publication, and yet there is no mention of any of them. Musharraf overall was a man of self-brag. His coup brought in some positives, but the negatives cannot be compensated with them. Pakistan is still in a state of war against the Taliban, which were nurtured to fight Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. I hope you liked this podcast. I will be back with another interesting topic. Till then, take care of yourself and goodbye.